Green Lantern number 20 is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Jack Herbert, colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters by Dave Sharp. The title of this issue is The Life and Death of Erastus the Blacksmith. We left off last time with Hal being ambushed by a guy overflowing with rage who just recently killed his entire village. His name is Erastus, a blacksmith who can't seem to catch a break. He gets scammed out of a paycheck, his wife isn't even trying to hide the fact that she's cheating on him, and on top of everything else, he gets mugged in broad daylight. It's too much to bear, and Erastus snapped, his anger igniting the kind of fiery rage typically only found in a Red Lantern. Everyone who had wronged Erastus paid with their lives. Then so did the rest of the village. Now it's Hal Jordan's turn. Hal doesn't actually want to hurt Erastus, since he clearly doesn't have any control over himself when he's like this. Rage is one of the most overwhelming powers in the emotional spectrum. That means talking to Erastus isn't going to do any good, so Hal tries to tire him out, prolong their fight in hopes that Erastus will work off some aggression and start to settle down. But it ends up having the exact opposite effect. The fire blazing inside of Erastus just gets more intense, and Hal is forced to back off. Finally, the rage inside of Erastus becomes so powerful that his body just explodes. The blast is so strong that Hal can barely manage to shield himself from it. When the smoke clears, all that's left is a blacksmith's hammer that serves as a grave marker for a village that's been annihilated. This is what can happen when even one single person manifests the power of the emotional spectrum, and this experience is a heavy weight that Hal carries with him as he flies off to rejoin the rest of his team. Kyle, Superboy, and Odyssey are waiting for Hal by the source wall. That is, until the two of them provoke Kyle into going on ahead without Hal. They basically just call him a chicken until he decides to prove that he's not one. It's the same logic that kept getting Marty McFly into trouble in the second two Back to the Future movies. It's strange how young the three of them seem in this moment. The way they're all acting makes them feel like a group of teenagers. The three of them approach the source wall, and Odyssey can tell that one of the giants embedded into the wall is artificial, a building disguised as a person. At the heart of this temple is an orb containing source energy, which is apparently one of the components necessary for building a central battery. Reaching it might be difficult, since this is a structure filled with traps built by the gods of New Genesis, but that just makes it more interesting for Odyssey and Kyle. She seems eager to flex her infiltration skills, and he really wants to play Indiana Jones. But both of them get their hopes dashed by Superboy, who can just walk through all of the traps unharmed, because of course he can, he's Superboy. They retrieve the orb without any difficulty at all. At least Kyle gets to ride in a minecart on the way out. But as soon as they exit the temple, they run right into Starbreaker and Sorrow, who've come to take the orb for themselves now that the heroes did all the work finding and retrieving it. I said in a prior video that I really just wasn't feeling any sense of danger or urgency from this storyline, especially from the main antagonists, and I unfortunately still feel that way. Starbreaker and Sorrow showing up to ambush Kyle's ragtag team should increase the tension and create anticipation for what might happen next, but I don't get any of that from this. I still don't really see the main antagonists of this story as a significant threat that the Green Lantern Corps should have trouble handling. Though that could change very easily, and hopefully it does soon. But then aside from all that, everything fun and interesting about adventurers raiding an ancient tomb was invalidated for the sake of making a joke. So this whole half of the issue had no real stakes and ended up falling completely flat for me. Honestly, the strongest sense of danger and urgency in this issue came from what happened to Erastus, and the knowledge that this same thing is likely happening all over the universe right now. We've spent so long talking in the abstract about how bad it is that villains have been messing with the emotional spectrum, but now we're being shown what that means for the lives of regular people, and it is horrifyingly devastating. Though I do wish that an issue titled The Life and Death of Erastus the Blacksmith was more focused on letting us get to know Erastus, so we could care about him and sympathize with him, since that would make what ultimately happened affect us as much as it affected Hal. As it is, we were given a short list of reasons why his life sucked, and then he exploded. And the most I ended up feeling was some surface level pity. So yeah, as usual, there are some good ideas in this issue, but they needed more time and attention to become as impactful as they're supposed to be. So that's Green Lantern number 20! Now I want to hear from you. What do you think of the way the story of Erastus was presented? Did you want more out of this ancient tomb? How do you feel about the current threat level facing the Green Lanterns? Tell me all about it in the comments section down below, and please subscribe if you haven't already, because the next chapter of this story will be here before you know it. Until then, thank you for taking the time to watch. My name is Dan, we'll talk again soon.